Hi everyone, I welcome all the divine souls on my YouTube channel, which is Twinflame Realities. So as I was already angry and upset with myself, I can say, because I was not able to remove these feelings and thoughts of this twin flame. And now I think as I got awakened about this connection in the month of March 2020, and then now it happened in the month of July. So now what has happened that I was actually walking. It was a daytime. So I was just talking to myself, about this twin flame, that he's like that, and and he doesn't do this and he will not do that. So the way we talk to somebody who is younger than us, or maybe who are like our friends or normal people, of our age. But when you talk to somebody who is elder than you and somebody who's respected, all of a sudden I heard a voice. No, he would do this. He would, he would do this and that, and then. But this, I realized this voice was coming from inside of me, and was taking the name of this person with a lot of respect, as if somebody elder or somebody sort of important person in a person's life, as if you're talking somebody elderly in your life. Then it happened actually twice and thrice, and then I said, who is this, who is talking to me? So when this, spirit started taking the name of this person with a lot of respect, as if somebody, important person, an elderly person, I actually got angry and upset. How did you dare to, speak like that too about a person, and you talking from inside me? Who are you? So as I have always been into spirit communication since my childhood, so I know that when spirits are talking to me, so they're outside of me, not inside of me. But then I realized this voice was coming from inside of me. But then I also remembered this actually a voice of that same masculine spirit which is with me since my childhood. Then I had a doubt about it, that this is the voice of that masculine spirit which already started talking to me after I when I shifted at his place, this in Twin Flames area. So I knew that I'm already in communication with this spirit, but then all of a sudden I realized this voice actually comes inside of me. This spirit is not outside of me. So there during evening time, I actually commanded this spirit to show me his face, because see, after my awakening, and as I knew that if I ask for anything, spirit will never deny that to me. That's what I knew very well. And after awakening, I have been in different level of energy. So as I was already angry and upset, and then that was the reason I commanded the spirit to show me his face, and then he showed me his face. Because see what happened, that when I got to know about this masculine spirit through that tantric, so that time I also asked that I wanted to see the face of this spirit, because it's a divine entity and should show me his face. So that time he did not show me his face, because he was wearing a mask, and that he did it on the request or order of divine itself. But now this time, as I was awakened, and I commanded to show him his face, and the face was of this twin flame, and that actually shocked me. And I was like, how is this even possible? Shocking and surprising thing was that twin flame is there in this physical form in a human body, and this is his another self which is staying with me, that too since my childhood, and that is into spirit form. But they are two people, like two self of a one particular person. So this is actually a higher self of this twin flame which stays with me since my childhood, and this higher self has always been supportive of me. I have been supported in each and every area of my life, and the spirit has always been taking care of me like taking care of a small child. So I knew that I cannot get angry or upset on this spirit, because he has always been by my side and has always been taking care of me. Also, this is a divine self, so there is no sort of negativity in this spirit. And higher self of a person is always a divine self, so you will not find a shittiest thing like this twin flame has. Now the shocking thing was like these are two different self of a one particular person. So if we talk about the physical self, he's the shittiest, most toxic or narcissistic person, if I talk about twin flame physical self. But this higher self is a divine self. So when I started talking after awakening, and I realized this now the voice matches, and I'm like this person is exactly talking to like this twin flame, and taking his name like with a lot of respect, as if he's somebody elder than me or an important person. But after knowing this truth, that this is a twin flames higher self which stays with me, and I don't have any problem with that, because I know it's a complete pure divine self, and I have no problem with this. So I was already happy when I got to know about this, he being a divine entity staying with me since my childhood, and has saved me from so many negative incidents, and always guides me, protects me, like for a small kid. So I said I should not have any problem. And after knowing this truth, I was even happier, because as there was also soul mission was disclosed by the divine after my spiritual awakening. So the industry I have my soul mission is the most dirtiest industry. All sort of negative things happens in that industry, including the black magic and all. So there I knew that as that's what I've heard, that a soul mission is always fulfilled by two these people, both the twin flames. So there I realized this twin flame physical self is actually a loser, evil kind of self, and I do not need that. I would never need his support, because he's a loser, dirty person. But then as this higher self stays with me, so I am enough to serve this soul mission all alone. So I was sure that and since then I started working on my soul mission also, because there were a lot of work which needs to be done and prepared before entering into that industry, because that is the darkest industry, everybody knows in my country. So now as I knew that this higher self stays with me and will always stay with me, because it can never leave me. Because when I was going through dark night of the soul, it was there, but it's just that it was not allowed to talk to me or make me feel his presence because of the divine order. But also I saw another self of this twin flame, that is devilish self. So one person has three self. That's what I experienced, because I was staying there as immediately immediate close neighbor. So when I became his immediate neighbor of this twin flame, so I realized that I already knew when I was working with him, that whenever I used to talk to anybody else, like another masculine, I can feel his frustration. And same I was experiencing even before awakening, when I was staying in his area, that whenever I used to talk to the owner's son, who was younger than me, still he was getting angry, and I could feel that, and also can see on his face. So after awakening, when I had to go out of my house, probably in 2021, so there was a time wherein I had to go ahead and attend a wedding of my director. So that day, as he has always been talking to me, so he was looking at me that I was getting ready and I was going somewhere. So it was the evening time wherein I had to go ahead and attend that wedding. So I felt like I was chained. He was trying to stop me. That devilish side of his was trying to stop me, that no, I should not go, because I got ready. So he thought I'm going for a party. And then and that time I felt this energy, I was not able to move my body. And I realized then that time also I saw one sort of spirit, which was sort of a devilish spirit. So whenever he used to get angry by seeing me, I am going outside or talking to other masculine, I used to see that a spirit, and which was a devilish side, and also feel chained to his energy. So I was talking to myself, like, how come is this possible? One person has three self, this 3D physical body, then there's this higher self which stays with me, which is complete divine self. I have no problem with that. But then there is another this devilish side of him in the energy form. I am feeling chained to that energy, and the more I try running away from that energy, the more I feel chained to this person. So as I was already angry and upset and frustrated that I was not able to remove his those feelings and thoughts from my mind about this twin flame. So now I calm down myself. No, because of this anger, I will not be able to have a solution how to remove this person in the form of thoughts and feelings. And then I told to myself, let's understand this connection first of all in a proper way, because I could not expect that he's staying with me, that too since my childhood, in the spirit form. And there I also experienced extreme telepathy power. So I could never imagine that I'm saying here to this person and he's doing the same thing exactly what I've just told him. So as I started doing a lot of experiments to understand this connection, so since then I started doing a lot of experiments about telepathy. Whatsoever thing I am telling to myself about this person, as if I'm saying to myself, because this higher self is there. So this person is exactly doing those things immediately next day, or on the same day in the physical body. So that was so surprising for me. How is this even possible? How come this much telepathy somebody have? So I kept on doing all those experiments in which I could understand the difference between all these three self of this person. And because I was after this that I will remove these feelings and thoughts for sure from me. And as I was picking up on his each and every thought, because I removed his, control from his feelings and, emotions. So because of that thing only, this was happening, that I used to pick up every thought of him. So as I was not giving him attention, or, not focusing on him, even I was not ready to look at him. So there he was, kept on trying different tactics, so that, I can chase him and I can contact him, or he can get things done what he's looking for from me. So as I was picking up on his each and every thought, so now as I was not giving him any sort of attention, focus or energy, so he was thinking that, what if he gets physical with me, so then I will definitely chase him, I will never get over to him, I can never move on from him. That's what he was looking for. So as I knew this is his last option, so he was thinking and planning about it. So there were several people who were like him and supporting him in all these kind of shit. Then I actually warned Divine that keep this person away from me, otherwise I will use one of the supernatural power what I have, and then there are only two outcomes: either this person will die or will go to the mental hospital. So I told to this, this thing to Divine, because what has happened, when I met him in his area, in his gym, there he himself, did a handshake wherein I was not ready, but automatically my hand was, up, so that I did a handshake, and I was surprised that I did not want to do that, but this has happened. So I was actually a bit scared of this connection now, and because of this energy, because I knew somehow, I am chained to this person because of this connection, and I might do those things which I do not want to do, wherein I might not have that power to stop myself. So I actually wanted to maintain entire distance from this person after knowing these, his shittiest thoughts. So I was still after this that with the help of spiritual wisdom, I will be able to remove these, feelings and, thoughts from me about this person. So there, by staying in his area, as we were, close neighbor, our house were in front of each other. So I got an opportunity to do a lot of experiments, and I feel blessed for that time, because I was able to experiment and understood and come in this acceptance that telepathy is so real. So it was little difficult for me to digest this, truth about that whatsoever I'm telling to this higher self, and he's able to do this, exactly immediately, this twin flame in the physical self. So I kept on doing all these experiments till the time I stayed there, and I was in acceptance that whatsoever I tell to myself, that I'm talking to him, he's immediately, doing all those things, and he's listening. Another thing I experienced, that he always wanted me to look at him all the time as if I'm free. So what was happening, that it was my office hours, it was early morning time when my shift got over. So I was walking on my space, so he was awake, and then he started chasing me through his devilish energy, look at me all the time. So I'm like, am I that free that I will kept on looking at you? And I had to look at him even though I did not want to. So this thing was actually happening through this devilish side of him. So there are three self of a twin flame, wherein about this character, mindset, nature, behavior of a twin flame in a physical form. But then there is a higher self, which is the divine self. Then I had several other questions which I had to get clarity, so that I can remove these feelings and thoughts from me about this person. So I kept on doing and experimenting things so that I can remove these feelings and thoughts, but I was unsuccessful. And then I had a conversation with Divine, when I got to know that this masculine spirit is his higher self, which stays with me, that was since my childhood. And then I was aware about he has two other self, this physical body, and then there is a devilish self of him, which I can again see in a spirit form. So I had a divine conversation about this particular topic that I will share in another video, so that you will have complete clarity. So this was about today's video. I will see you in another video. Till then, take good care of yourself. Bye bye.